Okay, so this part is about, I'm going to do kind of two parts together. So we talked about the roots, and then the next two parts of the plants that I want to talk about are the stem and the leaf. And the reason I'm talking about them together is because as somebody who grows food, different plants, you know, the stem has a purpose and the leaves have a purpose. So let's look first at these flowers. So these are calendula flowers, and on the calendula flower, when it is very young, like this one here, okay, it doesn't really have a stem, it just has a whole bunch of leaves, okay? And plants put out leaves very first thing. Almost all the seeds that you plant in the soil, the first thing to pop out of the soil will be some sort of root. A flower doesn't pop out, a stem doesn't pop out, but two leaves will always pop out, or sometimes one leaf, depends on the type of plant. And the reason they do that is because inside the little tiny seed that's planted in the soil is only so much energy for the plant to use, so it can get big enough to put roots in the soil, so it can get its own energy from the soil, and then it puts up green leaves, okay? All leaves are green. Sometimes they have different shades and stuff, but there's always a little bit of green in the leaf, because the green part of the leaf, so if we look at a tomato plant, the green part of the leaf is, there's a chemical in there called chlorophyll. And chlorophyll is an amazing chemical because inside a plant, what it does is it turns the energy from the sun hits the plant leaf and it hits the chlorophyll, and then plants are amazing this way. They are able to change the energy from the sun into food. So that's why plants are amazing. So if we didn't have the sun, we wouldn't have food, because if plants didn't have sun, they wouldn't grow. So all leaves on plants are made for collecting sun's energy so that they can grow. So there's a tomato leaf. That's what that looks like. We'll look at a few leaves. Tomato leaf. So here are some pepper plants growing. So like if you eat a green pepper, that's what the plant looks like. Their plants look a little bit different, or sorry, their leaves look a little bit different. There's a leaf like that. Okay, and on tomatoes and peppers, we don't eat the leaves. We're waiting for the fruit, either the green pepper or the tomato. But we do have other plants, like over here, this row here is a bunch of different lettuces. And lettuces don't really grow a stem. They just grow leaves. Later on in their life, if you let them grow really tall, or if you let them grow really long, they will grow a stem. But leaves on a lettuce plant, that's what we want, right? So we want them to grow lots of leaves, and then we can eat the leaf. Tasty. Okay, but the leaves do the same thing for a lettuce plant as they do for a tomato plant. They collect the energy from the sun and allow the plant to make food for itself. So it has, you know, it builds its body just like we build our body with food. That's what plants do, with nutrients from the soil through the roots, water through the roots, and then they get the energy to do all the work from the sun. Okay, so there's lettuce leaves, tomato leaves, pepper leaves, and we saw a little bit of calendula leaves. So I'll stop with leaves there.